So, as you guys read in the title of the video, I'm going to be talking about something completely serious. Now, since YouTube doesn't like the fact that I'm going to use the word domestic violence or abusive, my channel's demonetized either way, so I'm going to use those words. It's going to be confusing for the rest of the internet if I just use words like DV or A. But yeah, if you look at the title of my video, I did put bad boyfriend on there. Which, if I put abusive boyfriend on there, then for some reason YouTube likes to hide that. I'm not gonna hide my story about this at all. I'm gonna tell you exactly my experience of this that happened to me almost 4 years ago. Jesus Christ, I can't believe it's been that long. I'm gonna also mention to you why I am not even in a relationship right now and why I'm even more picky about who I choose now than I ever did before. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be telling you a story when I was in an abusive relationship with a guy back in the day. I would say around September of 2017 till around early June 2018. When I was with this guy, it wasn't even a complete year, but let's just say that it felt like almost like a lifetime of hell when I was with this guy. You're probably wondering yourself, was I raped by this guy? Was I sexually abused by this guy? Was I even beaten by this guy? Believe it or not, no, not really. But I will tell you, I was mentally, emotionally, and verbally abused by this guy. This guy is very manipulative, and yeah. Now, I'm not going to put any names on this video because I don't want anybody doxing him, which, as much of a bad person as he is, I don't want anybody doxing him. I don't want anybody fighting him. Legally, I'm allowed to say that, not only just for legal reasons, but also for safety reasons. So, as much as I do not or can't stand this guy anymore, I will just say that don't go doxing and don't go harassing him, because as much as I cannot stand this person now, and I use person very loosely, don't do it. But yeah, this is my abuse story that I went through. Normally, you know, when you hear stories about people who have been abused, they get pretty emotional about it. Not me anymore. I've gone way past that now. But I will still tell the story either way. So, around of September 2017, it's more like late September 2017, so just maybe a week or week and a half before my 21st birthday at the time, I was in a relationship. This was pretty much my first relationship I was with, and it actually started out when one of my mom's friends actually dated my now ex-boyfriend's dad, who's also, by the way, her ex too, which is funny because I actually broke up with this guy before my mom's friend did with his dad. So yeah, that's kind of funny. And by the way, my ex-boyfriend's dad was not much better either towards my mom's friend. So yeah, when I was dating this guy around September to October, actually everything was okay. I mean, I will admit there were some things that I should have seen as a warning sign. The first thing he did that really kind of pissed me off at first, but now looking back to it, I am very angry about, is that he lied to me what we were going to, and then it was completely, totally different. I mean, looking back at it now, I should have questioned that a lot sooner. We were supposed to actually go to, I guess, a friend he knew to a football game. Which, by the way, if you're wondering, no, I'm not really a sports fan, but I am willing to support people who are athletic, believe it or not, despite me not being a sports fan. And instead of that, we went to his little training club in his small hometown. So yeah, that was completely different. And yeah, I asked him about that, and he gave me excuses of saying, well, he didn't like the crowd. He thought I wasn't gonna really actually like it. But you should have just told me the truth where we were really going to begin with. I would have not been as pissed off about it. I mean, I'm more pissed off about it now than ever still, but yeah, that should have been the first warning sign right there that I had somebody who was really manipulative like that was willing to lie to my face that way. The other warning signs was that I was upset one time, and I remember that he did cheer me up. I don't remember exactly the entire situation, but he did cheer me up. And then all of a sudden he was like, oh yeah, but let's talk about my problems now. Like, he didn't say it like that, but I do remember he quickly changed the story to make it all about himself, pretty much. I would say 90% of the relationship when I was with him. Let's just say, now looking back to him, that's a shitty thing to do to anyone, whether you are dating somebody or not. That's really, really narcissistic to even think that way, let alone do something like that. And now we're going to come to the part where he mentally and verbally abused me now, besides just manipulating. Those were just a couple examples I can think about of his manipulation, but this is what he would do pretty much all the time when we were together. He would make it pretty much all about himself. He is so self-absorbed. And that's one of the reasons why I broke up with him. No, that's not the only reason. The other reason I broke up with this guy back in early June was because his family, yes, his family, even his mom, would pretty much let him get away with the things that he would say to me almost. And I say almost because there were times that, especially his mom, would call him out to let me finish talking or to let me finish what I had to say. But instead of agreeing with me, which I can understand, that is your child, you know, you don't even know his girlfriend to an extent. I can understand that. But what I don't understand is that you have paid your child so much money where he wouldn't even want to get a job, pretty much. Which, by the way, he did work at Walmart for like maybe 2 weeks or so, and then decided to quit because he complained about knee pain, which I think it was just an excuse for him to just quit his job. And because maybe the other employees just did not like him, or I don't even know, really. I know he would also use his mental health and his physical health as excuses all the time, which I can understand to some extent, but he would normally walked pretty fine. He normally would have decent conversations with other people, and when it came with me, though, however, he always liked to make excuses for everything. And when I actually was in pain physically, whether I was having my menstrual cycle or whether I was having mental issues, he would seem very sincere at the first time, but then again, like I said, make it all about himself and start talking off or start going off about himself, which honestly, that's just rude and pretty shitty thing to do. And also, going back to talking about his family for a little bit, like I said, I'm not going to bring any names, but I will tell you exactly what his mom did say to me one time that really shocked me and now pisses me off more than anything. I remember when we went to a restaurant at his hometown and we saw his extended family over there. We went to a restaurant called Pollyizers. There's a Pollyizers also in my hometown too, and pretty much all over in Iowa. But anyways, we went to a restaurant called Pollyizers, and I can remember we were actually having a good time, having a good conversation, you know. I mean, there were a few times that my boyfriend kept interrupting me while I was talking to an extended family, and, you know, his mother would call him out on that. And I remember exactly when my then boyfriend at the time was talking to one of his family members, that she whispered at my ear, no joke, because his mom was sitting next to me besides just my then boyfriend at the time. I remember exactly what she said. She said to me straight up, I've been taking care of my son for years. It's now your turn. I'm not fucking joking. Who says that about anyone whoever you raised? Who says that to somebody who is dating your child, who is dating somebody that you've raised since birth? Not even my own family members would say something that awful like that. And also, that narcissism right there is another reason why I broke up with this guy back in June of 2018, because of his narcissism and the sociopathical, and the fact that he, no joke, is a psychopath. And I don't say that very lightly with anyone, just anyone, but he truly is. And so, yeah, and let's not mention the fact that he would also mentally abuse me by bringing up what a bad mom that my mom is, by the way, and that she's not a quote-unquote good Christian. No, I'm not even joking. He would bring that up because she didn't go to church every Sunday, or neither did the rest of my family. Oh, but my grandmother was an exception because she did. Here's the thing. I don't care if you're a Christian or Catholic or Baptist, but when you bring your beliefs onto everybody else, like you think you're better than everybody else, that's not a Christian or a Catholic. What I call you is a fucking Bible thumper. And those are the type of people, in my opinion, that are a lot worse than they may seem like to other people in their own little small group of friends or family members. That's pretty much what he is. And I don't usually say that very lightly with just anyone, because my grandmother, despite being old-fashioned the way she thinks, she doesn't bring up her religious beliefs all the time. She doesn't even bring up her political views all the time, unless it's a conversation that's being said, you know. I mean, yeah, you're not going to agree with everything, but when you are dragging it out and trying to think you're better than everybody else because you do this or you do that, sorry, that doesn't make you special. That makes you a narcissist. Which comes to my third reason why I broke up with this guy, was because of family issues he was dealing with. Now, everybody has issues with their family, whether they want to admit it or not, whether they look perfect in the public eye or not, whatever. Everybody makes mistakes. We're not perfect. But here's the problem, though. I'm not gonna really date somebody when their entire family is enabling their child to do abusive and shitty things to others. And that's pretty much what his parents do all the time. And I am not accepting that, and I wouldn't even wish that on my worst enemy if that even happened to them. That is how bad it was when I was with this guy. Especially when I heard that his dad, no joke, pays his son, who happened to be my boyfriend at the time, anything that he wanted, pretty much. And when he ran out of the money so quickly, instead of saying, oh, I'm cutting you off financially, or saying, oh, you need to get a job, no, he goes on and says, okay, I'll give you this amount of money, but that's it. That's not really cutting them off or telling them to make their own decisions. That's enabling that behavior. You're raising a loser, pretty much. Sorry, but that's the truth about that. As Dr. Phil would like to say, you don't reward bad behavior, pretty much. And that's pretty much what his parents did all the frickin' time. I could bitch about this all I want, but yeah, that's really the other reason why I broke up with this guy. The other reason will shock you, pretty much, if not, was that around when I was dating him, he talked to a cam girl behind my back when we were together. And when I found this out, when he not only told me about this, no joke, he told me about that he was talking to her, you know, and all that nasty stuff, like saying that he was looking at her photos and then talking to her while she was doing sexual acts in front of the camera, which if you're a cam girl or a cam guy, I don't care. Sex work existed even before the internet. I don't really give a shit. If that's what you want to do, fine. But you were literally talking to a cam girl when we were together. And then when I confronted you to stop talking to her, you made excuses. That was another reason why I broke up with him, because he would talk to random chicks all the time. And when I would find them out, I not only would get pissed off thinking, oh, I'm not enough for him, but also the fact that he was doing this behind my back when I was, I don't know, doing the dishes or trying to go use the restroom, when he was doing it on his phone or on the computer. It pissed me off, because looking at porn is one thing. I personally don't care too much about that. No, what I do care more about is that you're talking to these people like, hey boo, hey baby, how are you? Hey, come show me your pussy. No, if you're doing things like that and you're in a relationship, you got a lot of trust issues with your own partner, and you don't even deserve that person if you're just gonna do that all the fucking time. I also forgot to mention that in this video that another reason why I broke up with him also was because he wanted to marry me as soon as like 2 to 3 months, and even like from 6 months or whatever, not even an entire year when we started dating. That's how desperate he was to be with somebody. And when I broke up with him, I actually recorded the audio, which I'm not going to put on this video because it contains very, very private information. I'm not going to even allow that. Did that because once I broke up with him, I was afraid that he was literally going to actually beat me up or did something much, much worse than what he already did to me throughout our entire relationship. And during the time I broke up with him, he actually told me that he bought me an engagement ring, which how fucking pathetic that is. And I've told him many times when I was ready, and he would not accept the fact that I wanted to marry at least 2 to 3 years at the very least from now. That's how desperate he was. Okay, back to the video. In conclusion, this guy is a narcissist, a sociopath, a mama's boy, a daddy's boy, and he's very self-absorbed. He makes almost 100% about himself. He asks me for money all the time, and which, by the way, yeah, he did that with me too. He tried to do that with me, and when I kept telling him no, he would keep saying, please this, please that, bitching about me like it's not good enough for him. And I'll admit, there were a few times I did, but not nearly as much as what his parents done to him for a lifetime after he graduated from high school, pretty much, from what I've heard about. I mean, the guy is like 3 years older than me, and he acts more like a teenager who doesn't get his way than a hardworking adult does. And get this, he's also around the autism spectrum and has Asperger's. So yeah, that really not only is a shitty boyfriend, that makes people who have Asperger's or autism look terrible. And he would use this as an excuse to try to manipulate me, because he knew that I am on the autism spectrum myself too. And plus, oh, maybe ADHD, I think he had too, which again, I don't really care. But you have to learn moderation and manage yourself and get therapy, not expecting to go to church and think, oh yeah, I'm cured. No, that's not realistic. Again, I don't care if you're a Christian, but when you use religion and going to church as an excuse to fix all of your problems, no, I'm sorry. I'm not going to take you seriously for that. And I should also mention to you that the few topics he really liked to talk about the most are trains, his favorite movies, and all the hobbies that he's obsessed with, which it's fine to an extent, but like I said, he doesn't know what moderation is. That's another reason, and the final reason I broke up with him. He doesn't get what moderation is. Though, that's kind of pretty much my abuse story. He would pretty much put me down all the time, saying what a horrible mother my mom was. I've told him many times not to talk to her like that. He wouldn't let me finish conversations, erupt me every single time. And so, yeah, if you want to even hear a little bit more about the other story too, I actually had my first video when I had my depression coming back that was really hitting me, and that would be this video, and then the other video was an update video after I broke up with him back in like September 2018, which is this video. And so I actually also want to mention, I also have an art gallery video I did back around in January 2018, I believe. And I actually had to change the thumbnail because it did have an artwork I made of him back then. And it is still in the video for like maybe 10 seconds or so, because I do show my artwork in order of when I got them done by date. And yeah, you can still watch it. And the thumbnail, I changed it to this one because I didn't want my now ex's face on one of my videos anymore, pretty much showing when you first click to it. And so, yeah, so you're probably wondering, did you check to see if he was doing anything after you broke up with him? Yeah, for a little while. I mean, I do know that he has a YouTube channel. I know he does, like, locomotive, like, toy reviews. I know he does, like, reviews on, like, movie props or items. And, you know, he does traveling videos, which, it's fine. I don't care. That's what he wants to do with his interests, and I'm not around. Good. That's fine. I don't care. And the one thing that did shock me, too, is that I found out he's married. Yeah, you'd think somebody like him would not manipulate another woman, but no, he's married. And when I found out who she was, I just feel sorry for her, because I seen a couple of videos, which is their wedding video, and then another video. I saw her briefly, and then he said on that video, for another adventure with Mr. and Mrs., and then he says, YouTube channel. So, yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, he's actually married. And Jesus Christ, I don't even know this girl. I've never talked to her, and I feel so sorry that she's with somebody who's this abusive. The thing is, I don't know if she knows that or not, but I just want to tell her there are better people out there than him. But you know what? She's an adult herself. She wanted to marry the guy. That's fine. I don't care. I'm just gonna leave them alone. But I will say this right now. If you are in an abusive relationship, don't be afraid to tell anyone, whether it's somebody you trust or whether it's the law system, whether it's police or like maybe social workers or the people you work at your job. I don't care. So yeah, that's pretty much my abuse story. And no, it didn't seem that bad because I wasn't beaten by this guy or wasn't sexually assaulted, but it doesn't even matter. I was still manipulated. I was still mentally and emotionally taken advantage of by this guy. And, well, let's just say that I just hope for the best. But I doubt it. I very much doubt it. But thanks for watching, guys. If you guys liked this video. Oh, sorry. My throat has been a little scratchy because I've been so angry. But I also want to make a brief update to you all, since I made that last video about Redbubble not too long ago. I actually have another shop called Society 6, and I will leave a link down in the description below for my new shop. Here are a few of these screenshots here of what it looks like so far. I did add a few more other artworks. There's going to be plenty more in the future for this website. Yeah, that's pretty much it, and I hope you guys enjoyed my content, and don't forget to subscribe if you like my content as well. Anyways, I'll see you all next time.